What are these people going to do without me? There seems to be no initiative to help an old man out. Look at this place. They act like I work for them. I'm a proverbial extension of their own lateness. They know I work hard, and for many, many years, 42 to be exact, right here at the Lambert Theater. Me, Mitch Buddy Fletcher, has been the main theater caretaker technician. Political correctness appears to be just that. Political.
This is Exposing Politics with Oscar Sanders.
Welcome to Exposing Politics. I'm Oscar Sanders. The 2016 presidential campaign has gotten off to a tumultuous start in Steubenville, Ohio, as Hillary Clinton supporters clash with police over a report that an African-American man in attendance at the Trump rally was assaulted by other Trump supporters. 3 people were arrested. 2 were injured. The Trump campaign was asked for a response. They respectfully declined. Someone that left the arena after the rally reported that they thought they were in a zoo. Unfairness on any level, partisan or bipartisan, is not a good feeling. Like irritable bowel syndrome, it churns and repeats and bellows and constantly reminds you that your belief system has been shattered. Who do I blame for misinformation? Who do I blame for leading me astray? Who do I blame for programming me to be just like them, think like them, act like them? What happened to free thinkers? You can't treat us any way you want to. You can't dispose of us and lie to us and say that you were forced to. When will you stop hiding like Marines in camouflage and expose the white robes you wear under your suits and jeans like long johns in the winter? Our eyes are open and have always been open. Now we consolidate to repel and resist and fight against your prejudice and racist philosophies. We are people too and should be treated as such. I think at the very least we deserve as much. What happened to the Civil Rights Act of 1964? It's the law. The law. Respect that. You can't buy back. Injustice that has been earned and fought for and established for all people in all colors and denominations and races, I'm still standing. You're going to stop ignoring me. Your negative energy is boring me. I think the Klan are tired of wearing white robes and switched to wearing police uniforms and the devil in pinstripe suits. What better way to hide their horns? Rather than to be truthful to thyself, a lie continues to be perpetrated because to believe otherwise shatters a belief system that says that your parents lied to you and told you that you were better than, when in reality, after standing face to face, working at the same job, having the same paycheck, making the same money, going to the same schools, eating in the same restaurants, flying in the same planes, riding in the same trains, riding in the same buses, living in the same neighborhood with you suddenly realize you're not better than anyone. Bless the manifest. Anyone. You hear that word? Anyone. You're not better than anyone. That one word states all we have in common. If we, and I mean we the people, a human race, catch cancer, we receive chemo. We get tax returns, they come from the same sender. We have more in common than we have differences. It's the same debate. Strip away the skin, and we're exactly alike. So, what's the problem? It's all about politics, and you know it. You had me confused with someone else. I'm a poet. It's all about politics, and you know it. You had me confused with someone else. I'm a poet. I don't do flesh wounds. I never take newspapers into bathrooms. I've been known to dazzle professors in classrooms. I don't possess the spirit of Jeffrey Dahmer, but I'm vicious enough to cause you deliberate and acute head trauma. Who cut out the lights? All I see is black. Wait a minute. Is this some sort of racial attack? They seemingly lacks the element of surprise I surmise was intended, but due to the weak skill set, I'm not offended. I don't know where you heard that from. I don't do chores, no, and I won't be helping you do yours. But if I can help you with one damn thing, what can Lucky Louie do you for? No more, no more, no more, no more. It's all about politics, and you know it. You had me confused with someone else. I'm a poet. It's all about politics. and you know it. You had me confused with someone else. I'm a poet.
This is Exposing Politics with Oscar Sanders.
We're back. What is fake news, the country is asking? Well, that was the question posed on a panel of blue ribbon journalists yesterday at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. over growing speculation that the Russians are involved or meddling in the 2016 presidential campaign. The question also posed among these journalists was, is the news industry losing its credibility? That was a question that many people pondered, but there were very little answers. I can't believe it. What happened to integrity? What happened to humanity? I think it went the same place Barry Bonds' last home run ended up. Out of the park. Self-respect is out of here. Humanity is gone. They show movies on that flight. We've went through an amazing run of why people are skilled and why people actually have to have qualifications for a job. Because after the last president that we had, you can't tell your kids that you can't be anything, because you can. What is this crap they call the news? After 12 seconds, frankly, I'm not amused. They focus on being fan balanced. Excuse me, does that include lying and advertisements? You were misinformed, so follow behind us. Anything you pay for is guaranteed kinda, but all I recognize is truly biased. However, lying releases the silence. The events in history are totally controlled. Wars and disagreements continue to unfold. Who started the fracas, or who's the victim? The media says just focus on the fact that we tricked them. Tricked who? Tricked them who follow to be informed? When we finish cranial infusion, they'll all feel forlorn. So basically, who can I believe in? Huh? The lesser of two evils win? You have to trust or believe in a movement or persons projected who haven't been vetted but have been protected too. Misinform the masses, lie without conscience, withhold portions of events to support a side or position, portion out airtime disproportionately to boost ratings. Don't invite debate because of the weak skill set of the moderators in the booth. It's maddening how the news works to dumb us down and influence us not to see the truth. It's like watching David Copperfield dazzle us with illusion. 24-hour news is such an intrusion. I've been lied to and manipulated so much, I suffer from cranial contusion, confusion, cerebral edema, frontal lobe malformation, forced-infused paranoia, seizure-type symptoms, trust issues, betrayal, and finally fear depressed. It has me totally messed up, I guess. I have a phobia for the times 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 6:30, 10, and 11. I run to the bathroom inflicted with reactive depression. I have to shake this feeling. Who do I trust? The news has become propaganda. They scare me with incessant memoranda. It's way too much to process. Watching the news shouldn't be a process. However, now I'm bruised. Come to find out, Facebook is dictating to us what we should consider the news. I thought democracy was defined by our right to choose. Are we watching and listening to independent media or advocacy groups? Is this censorship or propaganda or a mesh gumbo of the two? I don't know about you. I don't appreciate my politics mixed with my food. All I want for Christmas is to be a fly on the wall of every editorial room in America so I can wave and shout my Al Pacino voice, "Hey you! Yeah, it's me over here. Why are you out there causing so much hysteria? I thought your mom taught you better than that. Oh, I'm just getting warmed up. I'm going to take a flamethrower to this place, yeah." I say, don't we deserve the truth unfiltered if this is a so-called democracy? I think so. Do you? Do you? Do you? Again, what is this crap they call the news? When the military and the executive branch are not aligned, the public is inclined to observe and diffuse with infusion. Confusion between power and protection that extends way beyond election and political succession. Get your filthy hands off my goddamn bombs. Projectiles of death went on. You're not going to be in the White House long enough to trace through my right to fuss and fight in light of what is frighteningly clear, or what you guys in the White House fear. Operation Nightmare screwing with my career. Racist old men in blue suits acting like Cousin Venice. Two Utes. We can and will outlive any White House administration. We resist megalomania and world domination. This is our declaration. This is our declaration.
This is Exposing Politics with Oscar Sanders.
We're back. Social commentator and activist Lucky Louie posed the question, why are so many poets abroad and in America being arrested on charges of incitement of a riot? Could this be a First Amendment issue? Over 1,500 poets in Italy, Greece, London, France, and Iran have been arrested and detained. Some have lost contact with their families. Again, is this a First Amendment issue? Not a new phenomenon. Actually, probably older than cholera. Please allow me to bother you with the truth in the form of a pit bull collar. The government doesn't know me. They damn sure don't own me. But so far, they have shown me, for all intents and purposes, they have unequivocally disowned me. Unemployment hikes, mental health, Black Lives Matter, murder, incarceration spike. I raise my hand, clenched fist to show my resistance, but I get backed up and locked up and distanced from a distance. Most of you don't know who I am or care that I am. A human being that happens to be a man, woman, hustling, suffering, scuffling to survive in a world so cold, in a world so bold. That distraction is a clever technique to keep the masses pacified and systematically on hold. They talk about Illuminati, Bilderberg, and Freemasonry and the Council on Foreign Affairs. I will continue to be a free agent in the supposedly free world, free society that hasn't grown. I watch the news, which is controlled and filtered through corporate media companies representing the 1% who, with birth luck and robber baron mentality, they don't give a damn who, mess with or mess over to get over or more over. The police ask me for ID. Yeah, me. But Common rapped about, why do I need ID to get ID? A specific presidential candidate who howls and yells about creating walls and rejecting refugees that the last time I checked during World War II was afforded Irish, Polish, Italian, Jewish, and lastly Czech. Government buying arms. Why so much investment in arms? People get ready, there'll be no alarm. There's a new plan, a new world order. Again, with all the social programs, they focus on the border. Snowing in the summertime. Hot in the wintertime. I wouldn't know what climate change was all about if I hadn't researched climate change online. Growing inside your mind like a tumor. Spreading through your head like a rumor. Receptor, receptacle, intellectual, interjectable, incorruptible, indestructible. People trying to act gracious, but in actuality acting ostentatious. Ronald Reagan. It rhymes with deregulation. The rise of popular conservatism began with Ronald Reagan. Financial inequality and deregulation stopped the citizenry from bringing home the bacon. Ronald Reagan, acting like an actor, acting like the president. He messed up the country. All the people were elated when he left that residence. There are a lot of writers writing quicker than I am, but not a lot of writers as prolific as I am. Towns and cities iced out, droughted out. Washington lawmakers responding that scientific facts shouldn't be what we're talking about. What more proof do you need? Lobbyists fill your campaign coffers will never concede that they're the real pimps to elected hoes. They wear suits, they stay in clean cut, and they refrain from afros. People mad at Obama, but really mad at themselves. Shattered belief systems hold them accountable to themselves. Who lied to me and told me that you were better than? It was the pill of prejudice that you were the better man. Everyone but no one when you did the math. They're true victims of familial graft. It's been established that the president is the president, but obviously the president isn't everybody's president. Why is bigotry so profound? Climbing over the White House fence, it's being reported into the ground. This would never happen in another country's backyard. You would be apprehended, shot, and taken to the boneyard. The president can't save America any more than Iggy Azalea. You can shout, "I'ma change your life," all you want. But to change your life, you have to change your life. Not a new phenomenon. Oh my God. No, nah. I detest a closed mouth man, I love a man who loves to talk. Well, so you know that as we go through the the corporate elevator or escalator, and we ascend to success, there are all kinds of things that can happen, and basically it's like almost like new levels, new devils. Well, I hit the devil with a shovel, so he dropped me a level. I don't dine with dark forces, so it became inevitable that any attack on my belief system became an attack on me. I don't know. Maybe Abilify is right for me. I wouldn't agree with anyone who didn't see that new devils equal new levels aren't right for me. Everything done in the dark soon comes to light, but not if the dark is already in the light. Schemers can replicate with little might. There's a new time. It's not by accident that we draw lines. The soothing sounds of Sade attempt to calm me down. But with a new environment, I wound up thinking... Didn't Sade change her sound? Never mind. Back to the subject. You have to resist bold dangers. You have to resist new dangers. Devils in pinstripe suits, talking in press conferences in loops, creating clever distractions to overwhelm resistant group reactions. I repeat, I hit the devil with a shovel, and so he dropped me a level. New levels equal new devils. Aren't right for me. Walking through the bowels of the Pentagon, I wondered if megalomania was a psychological diagnosis. If so, then the military-industrial complex and our spy network got it bad. I mean acute bad. Often what we don't lay bare is construed as a secret, like controlling what we know through plausible spillage of national security really is meaningless. Running black ops sites at remote areas of the world with the courtesy of other nations is meaningless. Performing unconscionable acts of torture that by statistics produce little results. Warehousing prisoners for years uncharged for at least a decade or more is indifferent. And the president says he's going to close Guantanamo. Not before I make a sandwich, have a beer, and watch the Super Bowl. That'll give enough time to find an excuse to keep Guantanamo open. Government-sanctioned assassinations of our enemies is justified. And we wonder why the world doesn't like us. Creating unrest through misinformation about foreign countries to justify toppling leaders to install dictators who bankrupt their own economies and loot entire nations. And the military thinks they aren't responsible for this? Killing the innocent by drone strikes, they justify by saying they don't have boots on the ground. To me, it's just Spanish for not admitting that the government's punk ass is scared that our soldiers' body count might most definitely be higher with the advancement of boots on the ground. They don't want to see our soldiers' mothers crying all over our position papers. We have an agenda and we're going to proceed. They explain the list of innocent lives as collateral damage. This is military style and they speak it without a smile. Those cold, callous war hawks who have to keep something going to financially satisfy the defense contractors who make it worth their while for uniformed men with medals from their shoulders to the hem of their pants to send loyal soldiers to their graves for wars we shouldn't be involved in. Wars of political intent. Wars of political persuasion. Wars of political indoctrination to turn or convert into bad decisions that keep us involved in no-win situations that eventually leave our boys on flatbed converters once they arrive at Dover Air Force Base heading for a final destination. Waste, fraud, and abuse is everywhere, running rampant. $200 for a toilet seat? 187 F-22 fighter jets worth $77 billion deemed not necessary to use in a war in Libya? Really? We got it like that? Paying off warlords to protect contractors that are really mercenaries with a briefcase that hold nothing more than AR-15s. We charge whistleblowers as traitors when actually they should be protected and celebrated. Whistleblowers are the moral compass of the uninformed. Traitors are the foreign nationals that the U.S. government pays to find Hezbollah, Hamas, Al-Qaeda, ISIS leaders in terrorist cells. But if I made the dumb decisions that the Pentagon makes, I would live in a world shrouded in secrecy too. For a government that reveals very little, they do more spying than everybody else. Thank you, Daniel Ellsberg. Thank you, Julian Assange. Thank you, Edward Snowden. Thank you, Chelsea Manning. Thank you.
This is Exposing Politics with Oscar Sanders.
We're back. 73 NYPD officers, ranging from high-ranking to street patrol, were arrested over a 2-day period in a wide-ranging corruption scandal. The charges involve bribery, pay-for-play, unlawful gifts, and prostitution. Also, trips to Las Vegas and Israel by lieutenants and captains and senior deputy officials. Is there space or a crack in the blue wall? On a sad note, one officer, suspected but not charged, was found dead in his Suffolk County home early this morning. That's all the information that was given. Warren Buffett was once quoted as saying, "Once the tide goes out, we'll see who's swimming naked." That appears to be what New York City state government and NYPD is all about. You don't need x-ray vision to see the nudity of greed and privilege decked out before us. It seems like nothing gets done in this state unless money and favors exchange hands. I once shook the hand of a politician. I was amazed to see that he had the print of Hamilton seared in his palm. I later found out that he had taken so much money that his right hand did indeed have the portrait of a former U.S. president engraved in his palm. Every day I read the paper, multiple pages are emblazed with stories, politicians and police officers accused, charged, and convicted of pay for pay and pay for favors. Is anyone in law enforcement and politics free and clear to make sound decisions for his constituents? When did an honest paycheck become insufficient? Police kill unarmed citizens and continue to walk the streets. Police take money from deep-pocketed businessmen and continue to walk the streets. Some are arrested and indicted, but not before they file or attempt to file for retirement. How can you have civilians selling gun permits for up to $8,000 to applicants while lounging in one police plaza like a NYPD employee? How do you have cops taking crack cocaine from dealers and smoking in their squad cars with the perp they rousted handcuffed and present? How can cops feel good about alerting organized crime individuals to pending investigations? How can cops travel to exotic locations after accepting gratuities from deep-pocketed businessmen? How can cops rob drug dealers as part of a street gang? How can cops moonlight as assassins? How can cops moonlight as pimps? How can cops moonlight as bank robbers? How can cops have sex with prostitutes on private jets? That was Act 1. I'm just getting started. Politicians take money to protect and enrich the special interests of others. What happened to competitive balance? Indictments occur, but aren't sweeping, and sentences are never as harsh as the crimes committed, and public trust is frequently ignored. Act 2. The governor creates an ethics commission and then abruptly shuts it down before a formal report is made public. But 18 months later, we learn why. Several high-ranking state and assembly members were charged by the federal government, and some were charged with very cozy associates with the sitting governor, who wants to now distance himself from the Slav. Act 3. The mayor finesses campaign finance regulation laws with the creation of several nonprofits that usurp election finance laws to swell his campaign coffers. Let's eliminate horse carriages because animal rights lobbyists pay me. Let's block Uber because rich taxi donors pay me. Let's protect lazy teachers because the teachers union pay me. In one example of the callous, brazen disregard for public exposure, the New York State delegation is attempting to sell government again like skyboxes for New York Jets season tickets in the 2017 Democratic Presidential Convention by selling packages of up to $100,000 to have one-on-one access to politicians. Paraphrasing Al Pacino hollering in Injustice for All, "You're all out of order. They're supposed to protect us. They're supposed to stand for something." It's all true. I can hear Gil Scott-Heron in my ear. Stick to the script. Stick to the script. Stick to the script. Stick to the script. I'm suffering from dementia. So I decided to retire. Yep, I felt it was the best thing for me. Yep, 3 more weeks and I'm out of here. Wait a minute. Is that 3 weeks or 3 weeks ago? When did I put those papers in? Hell, with my memory, I could be retired already and working for free. Lord, hell, I hope not.
This is Exposing Politics with Oscar Sanders.
We're back. Is there a connection between WikiLeaks and Russia in an effort to dissuade or influence the presidential campaign? Many people have wrote to wire services inquiring about this issue. Has the news industry lost some of its luster? Are alternative news and facts really facts? Ideas and positions are personal and for the most part shared by many. But what is shared by some is not always embraced by plenty. The truth is worth gold, while lies have a true value less than 1 penny. The First Amendment is one tenet. Hold up. Now wait a minute. To report, leak, spill, and lastly announce a situation, issue, standoff, confrontation, or difference of opinion takes a high degree of responsibility. To stop where I stood standing, to see someone say sorry for misleading you, took even less time than seeing through the noise and confusion, bundled up as a scant intrusion of my time, energy, upon reading it, our exclusion. Reporting a falsehood for some is considered an honor that shouldn't be wasted on the zealous who monitor us. You wrote tons of stuff about me that wasn't true. Now, I have to wait while a written retraction about the defamatory blog report that got me investigated, ostracized, fired, divorced, and destroyed my life is finally published. But that's okay. You just keep doing what you're doing. Again, I'll wait. They told me that putting window guards in my apartment was vital. Okay. How did they know I was suicidal? When will they mind their business? I don't know why they messing with me all at my insistence. Well, as I live and breathe. Is that you, Oscar Sanders, in the background? I didn't know you was in town. I didn't recognize you with your hat down. Yeah, it's me, just sneaking around. New levels, new devils, I ain't trying to be found. Politics won't free me to be me, but incidentally, they writing white papers for a black man with a black tan wearing a fat tam. When will they learn? Right after the election. Burn, baby, burn. They working for the enemy against me, asking me for papers and documents they gave me. Was I on the milk carton? Last time I checked, it was some guy named Barton. Barton ain't my damn name. Look, I'm just trying to get on this train. They know my spirit ain't broken. To get in my mind, you need a premium platinum token. There's no goddamn time for Tone Loken. My speak is politically spoken. They know my spirit ain't broken. To get in my mind, you need a premium platinum token. They know goddamn time for Tone Loken. My speak is politically spoken. My speak is politically spoken. My speak is politically spoken.
This is Exposing Politics with Oscar Sanders.
We're back. How long will residents of Flint have to wait before they can drink healthy tap water? That's the question that has been asked, but over 2 years have gone by, and still residents are buying water. High levels of lead have caused many children to be infected with learning disabilities, talking of levels of 300 million parts per billion, which is very unsafe under federal standards. Also, on another note, Syria has been reported to be using chemical warfare against their citizens. Does Syria and Flint have something in common? This is an inalienable right. Water. So why are human beings denied an inalienable right? Why the hell can I have clean water? I said, why the hell can I have clean water? Are we going to turn this into a fight? Shouldn't crystal clear water be in sight? Who knew about the emergency manager? Who knew he was the devil's ambassador? As a bureaucrat, it's your job to protect us, not create rust and lead that cause all kind of abnormalities, internal tragedies in a child's head. Forget that, in my head, and it leads to all types of pathogens, which starve for unique antigens. I describe my temper as shorter. All I'm asking for, some new world water. I describe my temperature as shorter. All I'm asking for, some new world water. Right now, I'm drinking piss, or something that looks like piss. Something's amiss. As I fish and dig and research, clear water for us was besmirched. How are you saving the state money when we find it hard to breathe? How are you saving the state money when the result inflicts in disease? These are laws against human nature, when suddenly the state becomes a traitor, as if someone anointed them creator, waiting for the government to fix it can be slow, yo, or actually the problem is infectious with the slow-mo. It doesn't matter if you're rural. The plan is all about systemic poor urban removal. You charging me for water I can't drink? Obviously, you have a PhD from the University of Don't Think about the irrevocable harm and symptoms like hair falling out. What's that all about? Back and muscle ache? Stuff you can't fake? Seizures in your sleep? Now I can't even sleep? Long-term heavy metal poisoning that I can't say how annoying? Anemia, memory loss, brain fog, and fatigue. Even reports of diverticulitis, a digestive disease. Chance of you got to get the lead out. 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 I describe my temper as shorter. All I'm asking for is some New World water. I describe my temperature as shorter. All I'm asking for is some New World water. You mean to tell me that if it wasn't for General Motors, who complained that the water was so corrosive that it was affecting the manufacturing of their cars, that the people in Flint would still be displaying undrinkable water in jars? Rusting engine blocks exposed the problem. High levels of chloride was the problem. But if there was no General Motors, would there be a problem? They threaten to leave this state if you don't straighten this shit out. We can make cars in any state without a doubt, man. You got to cut off that water and switch back to that Detroit system now. Or we going to have to move our whole manufacturing facility somehow. Finally, they began to indict a few. But the process is so damn slow, but you already know what they're going to say. This will take time. Not when my friends are dying and it's messing with mine. These are inexcusable acts and immoral and clearly lack the ability to right or wrong and get back on track. I say these are crimes against humanity, a psychosis defined as insanity, equal to cultural class genocide that should be tried in the world court. I say, Loretta Lynch, please do your job. Before people assemble on the great lawn resemble a mob. Put the governor, director of waterworks, and lastly, the emergency manager in jail. Left to drink that nasty shit they define as water with every meal, beginning with no bail. I describe my temper as shorter. All I'm asking for is some New World water. I describe my temperature as shorter. All I'm asking for is some New World water. New World water. When do you know when you're not qualified to lead? On the heels of this man being tried and convicted of crimes and crimes against humanity in the world court at The Hague, just before he was to be sentenced, the president of one country was asked by one of the judges, when do you know when you're not qualified to lead? After repeating the question to himself, he began to reply, after being sworn in as president, and you really get the feel for the job, that is, when you suddenly forget you are a human being, when you stop feeling the suffering of others, when you want to change the country's constitution so that you can be president for life, when you can use fear tactics after an attack on or tragedy to your country to institute martial law, when you rig election and use voter fraud tactics and intimidation to re-elect yourself, when you allow foreign corporations to influence you, the president, to set up their factories and plants through bribes and financial windfalls for you, your family, friends, and a select group of others. When you loot your country's revenue and economy and hide the money in tax-sheltered offshore accounts. When the president's advisors don't share his vision and mislead and attempt to institute their own egos, discourse, disagreements, and unrest. When the police and the military can't be told apart. When you intercept disaster relief, earmark for your country's people and resell it on the black market. When you make protests unconstitutional, therefore it is banned. When you beat and arrest anyone protesting a contrary point of view, when do you know when you're not qualified to lead? When? When do you know? The foreign president stood up before the court and answered, I guess when you are here, in this court, and you suddenly realize that you have disgraced your family and your countrymen and your nation. When do you know when you're not qualified to lead? When do you know? When you allow terrorist groups to rape and kidnap young women and Muslim girls with impunity. When you don't use the tools of negotiation, compromise, mediation, and diplomacy to settle disagreements civilly and wind up like myself before you and this court, convicted in awaiting sentencing. That's when you know. That's when.
This is Exposing Politics with Oscar Sanders.
We're back. Who will save the children? Apparently, no one knows. And that no one knows leads all the way up to City Hall and the mayor's office on the heels of a damning report from the Department of Investigation into the Administration of Children's Services, which was leaked to the press earlier. Reports of huge understaffing problems and falsification of records have been found. Who will save the children? Again, no one knows. I will be hosting a town hall meeting on this to answer those questions tonight. Stay tuned. I remember my daughter asked me one day, this was after Mother's Day, so why aren't there a Children's Day? I said, because we don't give a damn about children. They have them in other countries. They have Children's Day, but they don't have them here. But I tell her all the time, her life matters. Little lives matter. Little lives matter. Little lives matter. Don't they? Little lives matter. Little lives matter. Little lives matter. Don't they? Little lives matter. They're people too. However, it seems like no one notices until the flowers grow roses, prime for plots preserved for people. Little people with no representation. But there is a fascination. Why the hell can't we protect them? Those underprotected and vulnerable to a system that has allowed men and women to protect themselves before the lives of children. Children with no future or destination, stunted there should be some humiliation. But there is none. Only bloated bureaucrats covering their asses. Children dying in masses, again underserved and over-abused. If the government can't protect you, who will? Don't call 911. Word on the street says, son, they've been putting people systematically on hold. But when building commercial and retail space is prioritized over the protection of our children, when raising campaign funds is prioritized over our children, when attending gala events is prioritized over our children, we have a problem, my friends. We have a problem. We have to chant. Little lives matter. Little lives matter. Little lives matter. Don't they? Little lives matter. Little lives matter. Little lives matter. Don't they? Prior to walking down several halls, Reagan told Gorby, tear down these walls. Now we have Trump who sold ties in malls. Say what? He's planning to build a mall. Deeds of evil thrust a mirror in your face. It's the evil that men do to this amazing race. No, not black, white, or other. I mean the human race. As they smile in an effort to contort your face, evildoers I spray with mace. Throughout history, why were all our enemies once our friends? Because they changed the trend. They didn't want to spy no more. More importantly, lie no more. I tell you, it's a double standard. Oh, no, 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 no. It's all about the devil's standard. King Blood and Pistol Pete were sentenced to life in prison in solitary confinement, which is a whole different alignment. But 911 terrorist Zacchaeus Massari was sentenced to 6 life sentences. He will never get farther than offenses. I guess gang leaders are more of a threat to the outside world than a terrorist. I forgot their menaces. Boy, do I love the popular vote when I win. Until I lose the electoral college, now it's a sin. Only then is it time to scrap the electoral college. Really? I tell you, it's a double standard. Oh, no, 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 no. It's all about the devil's standard. Whenever you want to change the rules, when the rules don't rule in your favor, it's as stressful as labor and difficult to savor. I tell you, it's a double standard. Oh, no, 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 no. It's all about the devil's standard. They say the president is the leader of the free world. So why do we have to pay for everything? Because I say so. I am your doctor, Dr. Ming. You kiss the ring. They say I'm qualified for one of them health insurance deals. So why was I discharged from the hospital before I heal? So far, no cure for cancer. In spite of that, Tina Turner is my private dancer. They can cure a soft arm with Viagra. It's the science of switching positions, hedging decisions, constant revision, government priorities rushing to angerisms and rhetoric like, government can't save all your problems, or it's going to take a concerted effort from everyone. Or, oh, this is a good one. We all have to do our part. I tell you, it's a double standard. Oh, no, 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 no. It's all about the devil's standard. To some a substance, to others a shadow. If you can't tell the difference between the two, you're shallow. I tell you, it's a double standard. Oh, no, no, no. It's all about the devil's standard.
This is Exposing Politics with Oscar Sanders.
We're back. The U.S. Supreme Court let stand a lower court's decision today into the executive order to initiate a travel ban against 6 specific Muslim countries. The president, in a response, tweeted and made fun of several Supreme Court justices, calling them incompetent and even buffoons. What is liberty without a voice? What is freedom without the ability to live as one world, all races, genders, creeds, and sexualities, living and existing together as one world, one culture? Humanity is the recognition of all anatomically related beings in sync, respectful of one another in a daily balance of life as we know it. The actor Owen Wilson said in one of my favorite comedy movies, The Wedding Crashers, when asked, "What is love?" He responded, "Love is your soul's recognition of its counterpart in another." Wow. I know if most people knew that, they might not have been with who they have been with. But that's another story. People are under the notion and illusion that their lives will be better if they deprive someone else of an opportunity. But opportunities are gifts marked for whoever deserves it. Can I see your ID? Why? You're here to vote, right? Yes. Well, what? Can I see your ID? Damn, you still on that subject? What subject is that? Asking a born and raised American for his ID. What kind of shit is this? It's the law, he said. You can't expect the law to stand on the land you stole. You real goddamn bold. That's why my daddy always said, a good nigga is a dumb nigga. You got one more goddamn time to wave your goddamn finger. He said, a smart nigga is your enemy. Yeah, until you can't control the situation. Wait. Be patient. The eye has a plan. Wait. Be patient. The eye has a plan. Wait. Be patient. The eye has a plan. The reason for me living is different from me dying. For living, they just pick up your number. For dying, your number is up. It's just as simple as that. Should the government have authority, power to trump priority, given to a society, actually a majority, combined is called for priority to say what we feel. Here's the deal. Some people follow through, but they really don't know the meaning if you follow through and you're feeling a funky feeling. Say the wrong thing, disguised as a reason. Don't get racism confused with treason. Is there a reason? Walk with curiosity, thoughts without philosophy, fairness to a majority, freedom is a priority to say what we feel. Here's the deal. Some people follow through, but they really don't know the meaning if they follow through and you're feeling a funky feeling. Say the wrong thing, disguised as a reason. Don't get racism confused with treason. I can lead you to the truth, but I can't make you believe it. If you holler back, then you probably can't achieve it. Keep an open mind. Don't be afraid to receive it. First Amendment and the Constitution are one. It's the super duper poet story. Got no bars, mine is glory. Welcome truth, disparage flory. They'll let crap the Maury. First Amendment. Hey there, honest citizens, disparage hateful denizens. It's time to hear some funky bars from OSCAR again. You can go now if you want to. We're through. Doing it like I'm doing it how I'm doing. Best believe that I be doing it. Bigoted sadists. Doing it like I'm doing it how I'm doing. Best believe that I be doing it. Bigoted sadists. I didn't want to say this, but NYPD employs bigoted sadists. Congratulations, you made it. I know you're proud. It's like a dark hole. Frankly, it's underrated. I didn't want to say this, but your origin is rooted in slavery. Bounty hunters weren't neighborly, looking for slaves paid favorably. Mr. Gilmore said, "You killing niggas? We hiring." Well, maybe. Show me you know what to do with a rope. If you know how to lynch, boy, you dope. Doing it like I'm doing it how I'm doing. Best believe that I'll be doing it bigger than say it is. Hanging by a rope, I had to tense my neck muscles, in order not to choke. Snot cascading down my face was an eye-opener. Okay, now I'm woke. Look, I'm not prepared to die in a strange place, angst etched all over my face. If I can get my freaking hands on my mace, somebody's ass is about to get chased. For some, black is an acquired taste. We make your food taste better. We make your voice much greater. Watch your ball game? Come on, son. Later. Oh, look, who just climbed down from that tree? Goddamn, yeah, it's me. Doing it like I'm doing it how I'm doing. Best believe that I'll be doing it bigger than say it is. Doing it like I'm doing it how I'm doing. Best believe that I'll be doing it bigger than say it is. That's that pure shit. That's that how can I get some more shit. Can it be better than before shit? That total boom bap shit. It often turns into a contraption like Soto Gene mapping. Can I get a piece of the action? Of course, man. I wasn't Stan. I was a big fan. I was there when you ran. Hell, it was the Klan. I wasn't sticking around. We all know it's a sundown town. How about this? I'll meet you at Aunt Lottie's house. Around the corner, it was brown. I was having problems with my laptop. I wanted to borrow her mouse. We wanted to set a trap. We know where they live at. That's that pure shit. That's that how can I get some more shit. Can it be better than before shit? That total boom bap shit. I used to mix with this clique. But they get high too much, that's it. I was overcoming boundaries, so I quit. Who needs temptation? I'm lit and fit to fight the bullshit. You remember? Come on, last September. That's that pure shit. That's that how can I get some more shit. Can it be better than before shit? That total boom bap shit. I try, otherwise I die. I try, otherwise I die. This is inspired from one of my favorite movies, one of my favorite plays. I always enjoy Sergeant Waters. He's up there. This is for you. All right, you baseball niggas. Day of the Geechee's over. I remember when Negroes first got the opportunity to fight in World War II. White soldiers were losing their lives in abundance, being slaughtered. And then someone, an operational command center, with a we can't lose mindset said, look over there in the direction of the Negroes and said, we can use the niggas. We can't lose to those goddamn Nazis, those Swatzes. No other country in the world hates us as much as we hate each other. No matter what you do, they still hate you. Perfect family. They still hate you. Kids on the dean's list. They still hate you. Family drug-free. They still hate you. No kids out of wedlock. They still hate you. Never been arrested. They still hate you. Student loans paid in full. They still hate you. Always carrying yourself with respect. They still hate you. Never yes or bossing. Never. They still hate you. When you lose momentum, you lose control. Fear of reprisal consumes you. Fear of equality consumes you. Hell, I don't know if I'll ever get used to Negroes with bars on the top of their shoulders. Again, they still hate you. Give me my goddamn medal. Why should I wait 60 plus years to receive a Medal of Valor from a president that didn't direct me to fight in the war in the first place? Because they still hate you. 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 And they always will. And they always will. Hey, everybody. My name is Oscar Sanders, playwright, actor, and performer of Exposing Politics, a Play of Acts. I just want to tell you that this play is a culmination of all of the societal ingredients that can basically be a societal gumbo, because it's almost like the mission and the synopsis of a Law and Order episode. Content ripped from the headlines. It's everything that is going on right now that makes you scratch your head, curse at the TV, and yell and scream, but put together in an entertaining and educational way, because we know for a fact that education is entertainment. Please enjoy the play and let me know. I'm on MalcolmEntertainment.com.